1 2 1 2, it's your boy DJ Mike Marvelous here for another cheat code episode. Shouts out to Marvelous DJs. Today we are going to talk about setting up crates for a wedding. Okay, so there's many different kinds of ways to set up crates, but today we are specifically talking about setting up your crates for a wedding. So the very first crate I have under the bride and groom's name is guest arrival. Before every wedding, there's this time period where the guests have to come into the ceremony and have a seat. Generally, I do not, as a DJ and a person that sets the atmosphere, do not like people walking into a room with dead silence. Because what do you hear? You hear talking. It's just loud talking. They're going to talk anyway, but some background noise to kind of set the tone, set the mood, whether it be love songs, love ballads, jazz, gospel if it's a church. Depending on what it is or what the bride and groom is looking for, talk to them about setting the tone. How are you going to set the tone? The next item is the pre-ceremony. So this is the song or songs. Sometimes I leave this crate out, sometimes I have it. This is the song or songs that the bride and groom has selected to be the transition song. I want to hear this song before my wedding begins. Kind of boom, this lets everybody know that the bride and groom and the wedding party is prepared and they're ready to come in. Please take a seat. You play this song and they got however the length of the song is, or whenever the venue starts waving at you to start the ceremony music. And usually that's how it is. Ceremony. The reason why I have an individual ceremony crate is because there are specific items during a ceremony that you want to make sure that you have ready to go. The bride's not going to wait behind the doors until you find her song. So be prepared, have her song ready to go, have whatever else needs to be. If I had to break it down, I'm just trying to guess. There's a wedding party entrance. Usually they get a song. Make sure that song is long enough for everybody to walk down the aisle on. If not, be prepared to loop it seamlessly because you don't want someone to be halfway down the aisle, music cuts off, and you're restarting it over. You want to loop that as if the song never stopped and they do not miss a beat on their steps, because I can guarantee you some are counting their steps. Then you have the bridal entrance, and then there may be singing if there is a soloist or people singing at the wedding and you are the person supplying the music. Make sure you have the right version. So work with these people prior to the wedding to make sure all the music is correct. They may tell you when to cut it, things like that. Just be prepared. And usually if they tell me to cut it at a certain spot, I set a cue point at that spot. So that's another cheat code. Set the cue point. It'll probably be a cue point somewhere in the middle of the song where they want you to fade it out or cut the song. Let's see, what else? Exit. So there may be some more in the middle, but have songs for that. But there will also be a exit or a recessional, but all that stuff goes into ceremony. The best way to organize your crates, and you'll see this, I'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to the reception items, is not to organize it by BPM. So here's another cheat code if you didn't know this. You can click on the top of the column and it will sort your songs, your artists, whatever it may be. It will sort it ascending or descending order. But generally, I will use the pound or the number symbol because you can actually physically drag and put these in the order that you want them to be played in. So that way I know this is first, I play it, and then it highlights, and then I know the next song is for the next thing, and so on. So it helps me to not have to memorize what goes when. It puts it in order. It's a nice way to kind of order your crates for your ceremony. Okay, after the ceremony, there is cocktail hour. Now, I do have another crate called Transition from Cocktail Hour, but we'll talk about that. But going into the cocktail hour, you want to have your music for your cocktail hour. Cocktail hour is when the cocktails come out, right? So they start to drink a little bit, so they want to hear a little bit of music. I take this opportunity to play music to kind of give them a taste of what to expect later. And I'm not saying we go all out party dance, but I'm saying play some good music, some background mood music, as well as, hey, this is going to be a fun wedding. It's not over, right? So that's usually what I use cocktail hour for. Generally, what you're seeing here is the cocktail hour song selected by the bride and groom. I have my own in my picks, and I'll talk about that as well. There is generally a time where the guest must transition from the cocktail hour space into the reception. So you want to make sure you have a song or songs long enough to kind of get them from A to B. And again, you're kind of setting the tone. Then we get to the reception items. Generally, I have this crate to really set the specific items that the bride and grooms ask. In this particular wedding, I only see 3 items here. They had introduction of the bride and groom. The bride and groom were the only ones to get introduced. Usually, or sometimes, it's a whole wedding party that gets introduced. Make sure you have a song for that. That would go here in reception items. The intro and the first dance, for this particular song, they actually danced to the same song that they walked into the intro with. So the next item on the list is comments for father and daughter. As you can see, I actually put in the comments field what the songs are for, even though I still use the numbers of this goes first, this goes second, this goes third. But these are key tips. Another cheat code: use your comments field to kind of iron out what things are. Dinner, usually I use the dinner crate. Again, these are songs that I've asked the bride and groom, what songs would you like to hear during your dinner? And then they will say, you know, hey, we'd like to hear this. I typically also use songs for dinner for the older crowd. So mom and dad like a specific song, I try and give them what they want during this time. Go oldie love songs kind of to start out dinner. And then you kind of start to etch up the pace of the music a little bit to kind of say, okay, we're kind of getting a little bit out of dinner and then we're ready to go to dancing. So you're kind of leading into dancing. So you have the list of dance songs that the bride and groom wants to hear. I know bride and grooms are, if you're out there watching this, I know it sounds like a lot. You do not have to pick this many songs if you don't want to. I always tell my bride and grooms you can go from as little or a lot as you want. I think nowadays, a lot of people are just putting it in their invitations if they have a request. And then they mail it back, and then I get this long list of requests prior to the event, which I love because I can go and get the song. I know I have it. Somebody comes up, say, hey, can you play my request? So this is the groom's list. And so, Bo, sorry I got your name there, sir. Hope you all are doing well. All right. Then I set up my own specific crate. So I look at the bride and groom's crates and I say, okay, that's what you picked. Well, here's some songs that I picked for cocktail hour. And you can see my list is a lot longer. These are kind of your transition from smooth, kind of relaxing, we're eating, can you turn it down, is what you'll probably hear a bunch of times during dinner. So you don't want to go too high too fast. But yeah, that's my dinner crate. And then I also created a classic rock crate. Just added some of the same artists that the groom wanted to hear. Then you get into the dancing, and I have my own dance crate, and I don't want you to see that because you got to come up with your own now. I also, and I just started doing this a couple years ago, I started creating a do not play crate, right? So you'll never play these songs, but you can check them. So you want to make sure that you're not playing. If you're like, I think this is on the do not play list, how would you know? Are you going to pull up the PDF or the Word document that has it on there? I put them in a crate, so that way I could just do a quick search. Is this song part of the do not play for the bride and groom? That is pretty much all I have for setting up wedding crates. I thank you all for watching Cheat Code. I'm trying to push this out as often as possible. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also don't forget to hit the notification button so that way you don't miss a video that I post. Again, wedding crates. If there is something else that you'd like to hear, and this message is specifically to my DJs, if there's something that you'd like to hear about for me to cover on Cheat Code or a certain way that I do something or something you may be struggling in, leave a message below in the comments. I'll get back to you and I'll try my best to try and produce something. I want to do some more gear. For my newer DJs, I'm working on getting the how to blend, how to DJ the gear that you need to get started. So some of the stuff that I'm posting early on is for some seasoned DJs, some DJs that are already kind of, you got your gear, you got your Serato, you got your laptop, but you're really trying to learn some tips to help out. But I will get to my inspiring DJs that want to learn how to DJ. I'm going to start putting up some videos for you to let you know what you need to get and what you need to do to get started. So continue to follow me. Thank you all. Yours truly, DJ Mike Marvelous. Cheat code. I appreciate you all. Be blessed.